Confidence comes as a result of competence, and I believe it's only that, because we only really start to actually believe we could do something when we can do it. That's why I think that you should focus primarily on getting good at the thing before you decide to get good at feeling like you're good at it. Because if you're too confident and you're not skilled enough to match that level of confidence, then that's just arrogance, and you can't really actually back up what you're saying, because you're not able to fully perform to that level. And that's why I don't think that confidence is an independent existence like people treat it as. People treat confidence as something that will just get you by everything in life, and that you can just fake it until you make it. But if it's going to be a long time before you make it, and you can't actually fake it effectively for too long, or else people are going to see through you, because you genuinely fall short of those results by a long amount. And if you don't find a way to get up to that level relatively quickly, then you're not going to be able to have a genuine belief that you can do it, because you can't. You just can't do it if you can't do it. So the main point here is that confidence isn't an independent existence. It comes from having value in a particular activity, and if you just focus on the value for a bit, and you grind it up a bit, and you just build on your skill or whatever, then the confidence is going to come naturally, because you're going to see yourself performing at this high level, and you're going to know that you can do it. It's not just going to be your like mouth talk or anything like that. You're going to actually know that you're well capable of doing this, because you have done it. If you have not done it, then there is no proof that you're well capable of doing it, so you likely can't do it then. The thing is, we are mainly emotional creatures, but we are logical creatures as well. Like, if you saw some guy in the gym and he was doing like 200 kg for a deadlift, then you probably wouldn't say, I could beat that guy easily, because you just can't. There's nothing to prove that you could deadlift more than 200 kg unless you can, and unless you've done it before. But you can't go out making assumptions on things that you haven't actually done yourself yet. You can make assumptions about yourself, about how you perform in that category, when you haven't done it, you haven't put in the practice, you haven't proved that you actually are at that level. And that's where confidence comes from. It comes from being able to see what you've actually done, and then being able to properly just be logical about the situation. And that way, confidence is it's really just logic based on your value. If you see yourself being valuable, as long as you don't have this genuinely nagging belief. And that's why confidence is just kind of it's just the lack of these beliefs. It's not really a thing in itself. It's just the lack of the fear and the hesitance of doing something, because you don't believe you can do it. That's what confidence is a lack of. It's not a thing in itself. It's like how the cold is just a lack of heat, but it's not an actual thing in itself. It's not a form of energy. Heat is a form of energy. Coldness is not. It's not a form of matter. It's not liquid, solid, or gas either. It's just a lack of the heat energy that's coming. And that's pretty much what confidence is. I think of the heat as these fears and these doubts about yourself, and then think of confidence as just the coldness, the barren landscape without any of those things to ruin it. That's what confidence is. But sometimes those doubts about yourself are kind of needed, because again, if you see that guy at the gym, and then you enthusiastically want to pick a fight with him, then it's probably not a good idea, because you need to, when you're consulting your doubts about it, they just be saying, no way, he's going to smash you in 5 seconds. And that's a good thing. You don't have the confidence, and that probably saved you your life. So not having this confidence is a good thing in some areas. In other areas, it's something that just comes naturally, and it's something you're gonna benefit from, because well, not necessarily from the confidence itself, but from the value that confidence needs to actually grow. And people always say that confidence is something that you can just develop, and then you can pretty much get through everything in life. And that's not necessarily wrong, because if you have high value in anything, then you can get through theoretically anything in life, because you're able to perform at a high level. But it's not confidence, it's pure competence, and competence is the root of confidence, unless again you are just arrogant. But then again, arrogant people can smoothly talk their way through situations, and it's like what I said in the last video, the personality ethic, the character ethic. Personality ethic is your ability to communicate, your negotiation skills, your ability to smooth things over in the short term. But what people are really looking for, and they don't know it, is the character ethic. That's where you're actually able to be a reliable, dependable person, the person who actually has competence, skills and knowledge to be able to perform in this particular manner. That's what's really needed, and in the long term, that's what's going to get you places. Competence in the long term is going to actually get you to where you need to be, not confidence alone, because confidence, again, as we said, isn't an independent existence. It's purely dependent on competence if it's true confidence. And as I said before, it's just the antonym to these beliefs we have about ourselves, these fears. Again, if you see a lion or something in the backyard, you're not going to go outside, because you have a strong fear about that, and you're not going to be able to defend yourself against this lion, hence why you're fearful. That's a lack of confidence. Again, it's going to save your life, and you're going to benefit from having these fears and doubts sometimes. The problem is people, they get stuck in their own mental ruts, and they have too many of these fears in their lives, too many doubts about themselves in their lives, and then they're going to end up going around the place, and they're going to be swamped by these fears. It's going to be all that's on their mind. They're going to distract themselves somehow, and what they're going to do then is to stay where they are, which is the worst thing you can possibly do in any situation ever. To stay where you are and be inert. And that way confidence can never grow, because you're not actually gaining any valuable skills in anything. You're not becoming more competent at anything. You're not gaining knowledge in anything, and therefore your confidence just isn't going to improve anyway. A lot of people seem to have this idea that, oh, I just have low confidence about what I am. If I had high confidence, then I would easily get through everything. But that's not really the case. It's probably you're just not, you don't believe that you're good enough for this particular thing, because you're genuinely not good enough. No offense, but if you're not good enough, then you're not actually going to have the confidence to do that. And 95% of the time, when you don't have the confidence, then you genuinely probably aren't just good enough at the thing. And I'm not trying to be a downer here, but confidence is something that mostly comes when you have actually demonstrated to yourself a proper ability to do the thing. And it's even the same thing with me recording here. I'm a bit more confident than I was a month ago, but I'm not nearly as confident as I'm going to be a month from now, because I'm just at that level of being on camera. Like, I'm not the greatest on camera. I'm also not the worst on camera, because I have some actual experience of it, and therefore my confidence level is increasing. It's not at the top, but it's not at the bottom either. It's just somewhere there in the middle. You could call it high beginner level, but that's pretty much my level of confidence, and I could just put a load of faith into my ability to freestyle things all the time. But I don't do that all the time. I'm doing it now. Like, I don't have any notes with me now, but that's because I'm just kind of forcing myself to think of ideas as I'm talking. But if this was for a professional sales call, I would definitely have a script with me. I wouldn't do it on my own. Heck, even if I was an expert, I wouldn't do it on my own, because it's just in those kind of situations you just can't really afford to get away with that. But some people have like a load of views on their YouTube videos, and then they just don't have a script at all. Now, that is a mark of confidence. That's a mark of a person who is genuinely able to come up with things and talk for 30, 40 minutes straight, and they don't run out of things to say because there's constantly ideas popping into their head because they've become more competent in that topic. It's not pure confidence, but they're able to stake more reliance in their ability to actually perform this speech or whatever they're performing in a more effective manner because they're able to talk. They're able to rely on their ability to be good on camera and be good at thinking of ideas. Now, I hope this is making sense to you because, again, I'm not really sure how digestible me just talking straight on is. Maybe I'm talking too fast, whatever. But confidence is something that's just going to come from competence anyway. You don't need to worry too much about confidence. Just focus exactly on what you're trying to get better at. And again, just note that confidence is not a thing in itself. It's just a lack of the fears and doubts and suspicions of yourself, how many times you've messed up or whatever. That's just what confidence is not. And confidence is just a lack of all that. If you just walked out onto the street and you would never never had any of these fears in your mind about being socially rejected when you're talking to someone, then you're just going to talk to everyone, you're going to be happy. But that's not from confidence, that's just from a lack of those fears. But then again, that will probably come from under normal circumstances, just knowing how to talk to people.